Hello everyone, it's Moonkin FTW and welcome back to yet another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge. In this episode we are tackling quite a very unique roller coaster, which is the splitting roller coaster, which is one that starts off with two separate trains and then the track, well, like it says, splits up. I've never ever built one of these, so you can see me fidgeting around right now how it even works. I have no idea how to split these tracks, so there's a lot of like me just finicking around like, God damn, how does this work? How do I split them? How do I join them back together? So yeah, it didn't go as smooth as I want, but eventually I was able to figure it out. And yeah, I'm already going to tell you guys, I'm a big fan of the way this one turned out. So the idea of a splitting coaster is of course that there are sections where they are together and of course sections where they are apart. So my idea of course was to kind of make a dueling coaster that would be joined together in the beginning and of course go away afterwards and then join together in the end, so to say. So that means that there's a lot of designing involved, because while these are separate, they both have to have, of course, nice tracking, and of course when they join together they kind of got to be on the same position or pacing, if you will. You don't want one of them to be really far behind the other. That's of course not very nice. So in this episode there's a lot of track building involved. So first of all, because I never built a splitting coaster before, and second of all, I'm really trying to make sure that this is a proper dueling or mirror roller coaster, whatever you want to call it, and one that really meets up. Doesn't have to be perfect, of course, but kind of together at the end. So here I'm almost done with the layout. I just using some airtime hills and some helixes to try and sync them together. And I'm almost done here. I just need to extend it a little bit. So here I have the brake run, and then we go into the this section right here. I'm like, okay, if I just build a slightly larger helix, it should be okay. And yeah, in the end, that was kind of the key to kind of put them together. Not perfect again, but close enough. So I'm going to go for a yellow track and blue supports. Now, because this the design of this already took quite a while, and because these single kind of very thin inverted sections, or not inverted, kind of just like this small track, will be very finicky to work with, I decided, you know what, in terms of design, this coaster already took me a fair bit of time. I'm just going to stick to the stock supports. So, and I think the stock supports don't actually look that bad to begin with. I'm going to try and add some footers here and there where it's possible, but yeah, I'm just sticking with the stock supports. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Beastie's path mods to at least surround the coaster with pathing. It's one thing I really like to do always, is surround it with some pathing so the guests can kind of walk around. Also because this is a splitting coaster, it actually has two stations. There's two entrances and two exits, so you can choose whichever you ride. So I actually wanted to have pathing all around, because you can exit from enter from the left and also exit from the right and enter from the right. So that's why I wanted to have pathing around, so you can access both sides basically. So yeah, the path mods, it's just one of my favorite add-ons. You're able to make these very nice swoopy curves as you see here. It just makes the path look so much better. So big fan of this add-on. I pretty much use it every single time, with the exception of maybe a few times when it's not needed. So that's the pathing done, and of course with pathing comes these railings, which are from Shy Guy. Very, very handy. They match up perfectly with these paths from Beastie, and you see them. I'm just going over every single bit of the path to make sure that there are railings, because I'm also aiming for some realism where the guests can't just walk up to the ride, so there's got to be some fences in the way. So we're just going over all the pathing to make sure everything is completely fenced off. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to finishing off this ride. I'm going to add just a little bit of extra scenery, meaning some benches, some litter bins, to basically complete the picture, if you will. Now here I'm going to try and add some footers. Unfortunately, they don't match up perfectly for every single footer there is, but a decent amount did match up. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to make some compromise here, because I'm not going to use custom supports. I'm going to place them where I can. It's not going to look perfect, but for this roller coaster, I'll allow it, so to say, for myself, because again, the main focus is the fact that I've never built a splitting coaster before and trying to make something nice. And yeah, I've already spent enough time trying to build that, so I'm actually quite happy how it turned out. And speaking of how it turned out, yeah, this is it. This is the end product. Now for this one, I actually decided not to build foliage around the coaster. I just wanted the roller coaster itself and the pathing to kind of be the main focus. There is some trees inside the area of the roller coaster, but yeah, sometimes I just like to do this to kind of emphasize the pathing in the roller coaster. So yeah, that is the splitting coaster in terms of design. I think it looks really, really cool, by the way. I thought about doing maybe 2 different colors, like one for the left track, one for the right track, but for now it looks pretty good. Maybe I can change the color scheme later. So yeah, let's go ahead and ride this, because I'm very, very, very curious. And because this is a splitting coaster, obviously it means that we will do both sides, because they're different tracks. So here we go. This is the right side. Let's see what it's like to ride this. I imagine the pacing is going to be a little bit too fast, but you know, again, it's not going to be perfect. So here we go, onto our drop, into our first airtime hill. Here we have this very unique half loop and then corkscrew where the track splits up. And this element that I really like, these inline twists together where you kind of meet each other, so to say, into a corkscrew, into a bit of an airtime hill again. This is really cool. This is where they kind of line up, so you have these simultaneous double loops. Here we have a helix, which the other side will have later. You can see right now, into a few final kind of bunny hops, if we will, and then back into the brake run and into the station. That's really cool. Nice. All right, so let's just wait for the dispatch of this one. Now that we're on the left side, it's going to be mostly the same track, but with the helix slightly different, of course, and some other elements. Let's go ahead and look, see what this is like. Here we go, about to drop down. There we go, there's the airtime hill again, into this very cool half loop corkscrew splitting element. We go down into our inline twist where we meet the other side. And this is slightly different, so there's no inline twist corkscrew. This is just some regular bank turns into an airtime hill, into the looping, into a few extra turns here and there, and then we go into this big helix here. And see the other train right there. That's really cool. Come on, where we meet together, one final turn, and into the brake run. Nice. I don't know about you guys, but I really like this design. This is so cool. I don't think this design was ever built in real life. I think it was just a concept. So it's really cool that RCT3 adapted this. So yeah, that is the splitting coaster. Very unique. Took me quite a while to figure out how the hell it even works. But yeah, I'm really happy to I'm really happy with the way it worked out. I imagine if this was real, it would be so insane to ride this. Just look at it. So I think it's an awesome design, and I'm happy I give this a go. So there you go, guys. That's episode 54. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with episode 55. But until then, have yourself a wonderful day.